according to an MCU leak, there is an obvious, conflict between Atlantis and Wakanda in this Black Panther movie, Wakanda Forever. And it's looking like Riri Williams or some invention that she creates is going to be the main catalyst for that conflict in the movie, which sounds a whole hell of a lot like this is going to be a Shuri Ironheart movie.
Yeah.
Which has nothing to do with Black Panther whatsoever.
At all.
Like nothing.
It's going to be a buddy cop movie between Riri Williams
with Letitia Wright.
Letitia Wright.
Okay. All right.
Just wondering.
Hey, listen. I saw a movie 2 weeks ago. It was called Murder on the Orient Express. Or not. Well, no. Jesus Christ. It was called Death on the Nile. It was the sequel to Murder on the Orient Express. Letitia Wright was in it. And it was okay. First of all, it was one of the first films that I've seen her in outside of Black Panther, outside of the Black Panther franchise. And it wasn't a lead role, but it wasn't so much of a supporting role either. Like she definitely had a significant role to play in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I will say it wasn't a terrible performance. She's a solid actor. She can carry out the role. She can do the assignment.
Yeah.
I was not blown away with the extended amount of camera time that she did have. I look back on, what we got in Black Panther 1 from Letitia Wright. A lot of it was comedic relief bouncing off of T'Challa.
Yep.
How does that play when you've only had one movie of that and now she has to lead?
Couldn't tell you.
Not to mention that the entire impetus of the conflict for this entire movie is being driven by a brand new character who hasn't had her origin built up, that we know nothing about, that nobody cares about.
That is way too much development.
Not to be disrespectful to anybody who reads Ironheart comic book wise, but I'm not talking to comic book fans right now. I'm talking about MCU movie wise. You have an ensemble cast, no main character, and the main conflict is driven by a brand new character that no one knows about.
You got to develop Shuri as the main. You have to develop Riri Williams, and you have to develop Namor. Yikes.
This movie is going to be a proverbial hopscotch game. I have no idea what the synopsis is. I have no inside information as to what's going to happen in the movie, but it's going to be like a game of Foursquare.
Mm-hmm.
Bing! Oh, sure, he's leading now. Bing! Oh, back to Riri Williams. Bing! Oh, let's do Namor's perspective. Bing! Oh, where's M'Baku? What is he doing? Bing! Oh, here goes Lupita. Bing! Ayo. Bing! Okoye. Bing! 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 Bing!
Way too much.
Let's play past the protagonist and see who it ends up with. See who it works out with best.
Niggas just have a Wheel of Fortune wheel and it just goes
like, oh, this is so much fun. This is so fun. Let's just keep passing the bitch around.
No, it's too much to do in a 2-hour movie.
You know what dawned on me the other day? Because I've always respected Ryan Coogler to a certain degree because he's been able to make such a mark in such a short amount of time. It dawned on me that Ryan Coogler, in his most successful film ventures, he has never truly created in terms of source material. Like Black Panther 1 strayed for sure, some inconsistencies, but for the most part, he didn't necessarily stick to the foundation in terms of character traits. But in terms of, okay, where's the character from? What is his driving motivation? Family members, immediate family members, close confidants, that kind of thing. He kept that structure there. Fruitvale Station was a movie about a man's life.
Yep.
The 2 Rocky movies that he did are a continuation of an established franchise that was 6 movies in before he ever touched it. Black Panther 2 Wakanda Forever is one of Ryan Coogler's first opportunities to create something. For him to tell a story that's mostly his and not tied to comic book lore or tied to, a true life event that actually happened. He's been very blessed to get these opportunities because he hasn't had to create.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't had to start a story from start to finish with a full logical body based off of his thoughts and his thoughts alone. He has not had to do that yet.
He's good at telling a story that's already there.
That's already there. Now, my concern with this comes in with Black Panther 2, because if that's going to be your canvas, that's your jumping off point for creativity, is the sequel to a movie that did $1.3 billion with a main character that you are refusing to put back in the movie, or whoever is making the final decision over there is refusing to put back in the movie. That should be scary to more people. It should be, because everything that we hear about this movie has nothing to do about Black Panther. It either has to do with honoring Chadwick or one of the supporting characters in the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that we've heard about this movie.
Yep.
You're gonna make a Black Panther movie with the main characters not being Black Panther. That
doesn't make sense.
It's so detrimental to the brand to now brand Black Panther as an ensemble title. That is so detrimental, man. This is not fucking Power Rangers or Pokemon. And even they wouldn't be anything without the Red Ranger and Pikachu. Keep it a buck. What the fuck is Creed without Adonis Creed? What is Creed without Rocky? Stop the cap. How do you tell the story of Oscar Grant without Oscar Grant? I digress. What's the next bit of news?
So what I was telling you about earlier, I just kind of reread and made sure I had all the news on. It's not Riri Williams that'll be non-binary. They're going to add a non-binary character to Riri Williams' Ironheart series. So that's effectively.
That doesn't mean anything to me.
Yeah, no,
not that I'm saying like I don't care anything about non-binary people. I'm saying it shouldn't have to be announced that there's going to be somebody that's non-binary in the show.
Especially since it's probably not going to bear anything too much on the plot anyway.
Especially
if it's not Riri Williams.
There's going to be a heterosexual black male in the Falcon and Winter Soldier series. Great! I feel represented. Check that box, baby.
Nah.
You hit your quota. Great job. It's very congratulatory.
Yeah. Yep.
It's very, very...
Pat yourself on the back for doing a good deed.
Yeah, like self-patronizing. Like you. Oh, man, we're doing so good on that diversity quiz.
Yeah.
When they do our review at the end of the year, we will be #1 in the diversity metrics.
Yikes. The other news from Marvel is that the toy for Gorr the God-Butcher came out from Thor, Love and Thunder.
Yeah, boy looked like a sad burnt angel.
A sad burnt angel.
It looked like all his skin got burnt out. Yikes. He lost his wings, and now that's what he walk around looking like. I think it's really funny that this last phase of movies is going so long without having any trailers for the up and coming movies like Black Panther or Thor Love and Thunder. Like we're 2 months out from Thor Love and Thunder. We're 5 months out from Black Panther Wakanda Forever.
Yeah. It was November, right?
November, yeah, it's April.
6 months.
6 months. Sorry. Yeah. 11. Okay. So 6 months. So yeah, I don't know what exactly is going on except for Multiverse of Madness. It's the only one that's getting multiple trailers.
Well, because it's the next big.
Yeah, sure, but we're close enough to Love and Thunder that we should have had a trailer by now.
Oh no, that's true too. That's very.
We haven't even gotten a teaser or a synopsis for Black Panther Wakanda Forever, and they're done shooting.
Yep.
They're done.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes me think that the multiverse is going to play a big role in these next couple of movies. Right? Does Jane Foster Thor end up being a multiversal Jane Foster? Would make sense so that they have the excuse to go back to male Thor whenever they want. Does the multiverse explain T'Challa's disappearance? That would be a good way to parry it out of the Ta-Nehisi Coast run into the Intergalactic Empire.
Do you think that because supposedly we may have seen him in the Illuminati, that they might discuss?
I honestly think that's Winston Duke, fam. That's either Black Bolt or it's Winston Duke.
Okay.
It's Winston Duke. I think for some reason, even if they had to cave and bring T'Challa back, they'd rather pay Winston Duke a little more than to play a brand new salary for a leading character, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like, instead of creating a Robert Downey Jr. from scratch, we'll just elevate an Anthony Mackie. I'd rather split the difference in between, 15 million and 25 million, as opposed to starting out at 20 million with this brand new actor and watching the salary climb from there.
Yeah. Well,
I think that Illuminati pick is of Winston Duke, because it makes too much sense. Winston Duke negotiated a larger role in the midst of recording Black Panther 2. In the midst of recording. This didn't happen before shooting started. Mm-hmm. So whatever creative direction happened that came as a result of Winston Duke getting paid more, and believe me, there was a creative change if that happened, came as a result of him or his representation negotiating that for him.
Yeah.
And boy, if y'all thought I was mad at Kevin Feige, if y'all thought I was mad at Nate Moore, if you thought I was mad at Ryan Coogler, if Winston Duke negotiated his replacing of Chadwick Boseman as T'Challa in the MCU to benefit his pocket, I will never stop talking about Winston Duke as being a grimy MFer. Ever. Not when you interacting with fans talking about how you're going to honor the man. You honored the man by taking his role. And I need all of y'all non-recasters, I need y'all to come right along with me. You know why? Because it was disrespectful for anybody else to play Chadwick's role, right? It was disrespectful for a brand new actor, not even involved in the IP at all, to take over Chadwick's role. It would diminish his role. So now you're going to tell me the character who is supposed to be his sworn enemy, his arch nemesis, his friend, because everybody you work with is your friend, right? His friend from the set, his partner in crime, the ones that were so grief-stricken by his loss, ends up negotiating to be his replacement to save Disney money and make sure that a new actor doesn't get hired?
Nuts. Grimy work.
Hey, you better not. You better not. Gorr the God-Butcher? Yep. I mean, that's the way it's going to look. I expect it to look a little better, in live action, but I'm thinking a little bit kind of like Cad Bane. Yeah. From Boba Fett. That kind of setup, that type of mixture between, the animatronic or not animatronic, the prosthetics and the CGI. Mm-hmm. The one thing that I'm hoping doesn't come in his look is the over CGI-ness. If I had one thing to criticize Marvel or Disney for in their TV shows and their movies here, phase 4 and beyond, even in some of the earlier phases, is the overuse of CGI. Yeah. It's like at a certain point they look at it and be like, you know what, I'm tired of doing all this editing. Let's just put it all in. Green screen everything. The set producers and shit like that, they're like, we don't want to make any more props. Just CGI it all in. Like, even to the point, I think some of remember Renslayer's office in Loki? Mm-hmm. A lot of that was CGI. I'm like, fam, you can't find some fucking bookcases and some.
A lot of No Way Home was
CGI. I'm just like,
it'd be like the door of the house he was going into, and then literally everything else.
Yeah, I'm like, man, I don't like that. Like, just because you can do it for literally everything doesn't mean you should. Some things look better when they're real. Yeah. Like when a person has a real costume on, it looks better. Yeah. It's my one thing with Moon Knight right now. The costume is all CGI. Mm. Like at one point, I would like to see Mark Spector or even Steven in the Moon Knight suit. The transition, obviously, you guys CGI. Yeah, there's nothing you can do to get around that. Yeah. But I'm saying, once you get past that, fam, he can walk around in a cloth costume. Like, it doesn't. The fight scenes don't need to be all CGI either. Yeah, let's just stop CGIing the hell out of everything. Jesus Christ.
They love their CGI, bro.
Yeah, they do. They do. But I think this is a little weird that this is the first bit of promo that we've gotten from Thor: Love and Thunder. It makes me think that they're not going to release a trailer, or they're going to release it in the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness movie.
Yeah. Which that comes out soon as well.
Soon, yeah, a couple weeks.